And it's my pleasure to introduce the Board of Commissioners President, Marilyn Brown, who serves as the chairperson of the Franklin County 911 Planning Board and is a great friend of mine and a great friend of criminal justice and law enforcement in Central Ohio. Thank you.
Thank you all for being here today. It is a good day in Franklin County today. We have the great honor of introducing and announcing a great new way for our residents in Franklin County to access emergency services. Those who may not be able to dial 911 from their cell phones can text 911 if they have an emergency. Those of us who have the ability to call 911 should do so. But if you cannot call 911, those of us in the hearing impaired community who've never been able to really access 911 easily can now text 911. This is a huge benefit for safety. And it's a huge benefit to those in danger who may not be able to call, who may be in hiding because they are trying to get away from somebody who's chasing them. This is a huge benefit to be able to text 911. This technology is a huge advancement. It's not perfect. It's still preferable to be able to call. But if you cannot call, please know that you can text 911 and know that you will get a message back. And we'll have some people who will be demonstrating this new technology for use in emergency. It is imperative for our community that we have access to this technology. We've always known that there are people in our community that weren't able to access emergency services easily, and they've had to depend on other people, or they weren't able to get access to emergency services. Those with hearing impairment, those that have other impairments that could not easily access emergency services. So this advancement in text to 911 is critically important. Is it perfect? No, it's not. But all of our Franklin County communities now have been connected to these services. And it is a crucial improvement in our ability for our community emergency folks to know that our residents now have this access. And with that, I am so thrilled to say that our local leadership throughout the county have been working tirelessly with us in the county on our planning board and the technical committees that have been working tirelessly to make this technology work for everybody. So when you are in an emergency situation, clearly, if you can call 911, do so. If you cannot, know that you can text 911 from your cell phone. You would receive a message back from the emergency personnel, and then you would proceed to give them the information you need. Know that this is another tool to be used by law enforcement, and it's one that's most critical for all of our residents. And with that, I would like to introduce you to Holly Wayt, who is one of our great communications professionals from Westerville. She is one of the public safety communications professionals who's going to walk you through some of the information that will help you all understand the technical aspects of some of this information, what's possible and what's not possible. And with that, I thank you.
Thank you for that, Commissioner Brown. I'm afraid that what I'm going to say is pretty daggone close to what you said. Good afternoon and welcome, everyone. My name is Holly Wayt, as Commissioner Brown said, and I am currently serving as the president of the Association of Public Safety Communications Officials, the world's oldest and largest organization of public safety communications professionals. This organization represents more than 31,000 APCO members who answer the call of crisis in a moment's notice. On a daily basis, I am employed as the City of Westerville Communications Manager and serve as a team of professionals focused on saving lives here at home. It's an honor to be here to introduce Text to 911 and the men and women across Franklin County public safety agencies who have worked tirelessly to make this happen. I've been in public safety for 27 years now, and in that time, this program has been among the top few in terms of impact between technology and the work of the first responder. In Franklin County, this has been an exceptional collaborative effort between advocacy, legislation, and cooperation. I'd like to take, if everyone would indulge me just for a moment, there are a lot of my peers and team members here of the public safety managers across the county. I'd like to take a moment and just recognize them and give them a round of applause, because it is truly the work of their efforts and their work that has made all of this come to fruition. According to the National Organization on Disability, there are an estimated 54 million individuals with a disability in the United States. Over 37 million individuals are deaf, hard of hearing, or have a speech impairment. Add to that the millions of people who may need to ask for help, but risk their safety by speaking aloud. Text to 911 is going to make a huge difference and a huge impact in their lives. These special populations now have another tool, which is also another tool for first responders to help race to them in their time of need. In the Emergency Communications Center, we oftentimes find ourselves trying to keep pace with the technological offerings that are offered to the public way before we get it in public safety. With this effort now coming to fruition, it will allow the public safety telecommunicators to have another avenue to assist those who are unable to communicate through their voice what their problematic situation is. Through the years that I have worked with the public safety answering point managers within Franklin County, we have undertaken and accomplished many great advancements. This program is among the top in terms of the size of the impact that technology will have in aiding the work of the first responder. To the residents, visitors, and those that work in Franklin County, rest assured, when you call or text 911, there is a public safety communications professional that is ready to take your call and get you the help that you need. We ask that you walk away knowing and understanding one important point. Call if you can, text if you can't. It is now my honor to introduce Mayor Tom Neyland with the City of Gahanna. Mayor Neyland has been committed to public and community service through both the private and public sector for more than 45 years. Just prior to being elected mayor, he served as the technology director of the City of Gahanna and was intimately involved with the Text to 911 initiative. Mayor Neyland.
Thank you very much. This is really, this is one of those dream come true days that we've been waiting on for a long, long time with anticipation, a little bit of angst, but a lot of anticipation. But today is really an exciting day for me for a couple of reasons. As Mayor of Gahanna, today brings with it a whole new level of emergency reporting service to the community through the use of existing and new technology. Prior to becoming Mayor of Gahanna, I was actively involved in the very early phases of 911 dating back to the 1980s, when I was responsible for managing and deploying the 911 system that provided the first enhanced 911 system in all PSAP locations in Franklin County. That was about a 2-year project, and it worked very well, and with the new technology, it's just getting better. Fast forward to 2010, and the city of Gahanna became an early adopter of Next Gen 911 in partnership with Mifflin Township and the Metropolitan Emergency Communications Center then, which is now the MEC Council of Governments. And thanks to them, we really learned a lot in those early days. And then later that year, during my time as technology director for the city of Whitehall, we joined that partnership as the third PSAP agency supporting the Whitehall Police Department. At that time, our shared 911 system was capable of text to 911. However, the county and dispatching centers were not ready to deploy that technology due to the fact that there's a lot of things that have to happen on the backside for all this to work. So, and now I'd like to give you a special, I'd like to give a special thanks to the hard work and efforts of everyone in this room because, as was mentioned earlier, there's a big team here today. I know that I was working with them when I was technology director in 2 different communities, and also with the county, the commissioners. Thank you very much. But we wouldn't be where we are today if it weren't for the dedication of all the people from all the communities, the suburbs, Columbus, and the county, and just some of the partnerships that have been built now that are just so efficient and provide such a much better service to our community. At this time, I'd like to go to the map over here and just point a few things out. As you can see, this is a map of the coverage for 911, text to 911, but you can also see that there's going to be some limitations to this too because of the boundaries. Again, keep in mind it's Franklin County system, and when you're within the county and you've got service within the county and you text to 911, you should have great service. But just be aware that when you're on the fringe, there could be some gaps there, and don't be afraid to always call 911 first and text if you can't, because that's really the message we want to send. We want to use calling as the primary source, texting as secondary. Now we've got another real quick video that we want to do over here, and bear with me because I've only done this once and we're going to try to make it work. But as soon as this comes up, basically we're going to see a short demonstration of how text to 911 works. And it's a video, and I'm going to try to follow it real easily here. But basically you can see where you're adding text to your smartphone or your smart device, and you're texting to 911. You would add 911 to your to field on your smart device. And as you can see, there's data going back and forth between you and the dispatcher. You want to provide as much information as you can. And once you do, of course, you're going to use the normal process that you use for texting to anybody, but you're going to text it to 911 and you will be in communication. But the main thing is you want to provide them with as much information, location information, and what's wrong, and they will ask you for more information as that progresses. So with that, hopefully that was informative and went pretty quick, but I appreciate the prompt. So at this point we've got and we've got a PSA that's a video that's going to play here in just a moment.
Text 911 is now available in Franklin County. We urge you to call if you can, but text if you can't in an emergency situation. This new feature is reserved for true emergencies and allows you to connect to 911 from a mobile device with text capabilities. When sending a text, always include an accurate address, a good description of your location, and as much information as you can about your emergency. There are a few limitations to the service depending on your location and service provider. We cannot determine your location based upon the text. You will receive a bounce back message if your text does not go through to 911. In addition, do not use emojis, send photos, or include your message as part of a group text, as it will not be received by 911. Remember, a text could take longer than a call to 911. So when seconds count, call if you can and text if you can't. For more information about Text 911, visit text911.franklincountyohio.gov.
So I want to take just a minute and thank Marilyn Brown, Commissioner with Franklin County, also the Countywide 911 Board, the committee, and everyone in this room for making Text to 911 possible in Franklin County. At this time, I'd like to turn the mic over to Mayor Ike Stage from Grove City.
They're not clapping for me, they're clapping for you, Mayor Neyland. Thank you. And thank you, Marilyn Brown, the Commissioner. I happen to serve on the 911 Planning Commission, Planning Committee also, and I was asked to put in a plug. We're at a critical point within the system of taxation within the state of Ohio. One of the things that makes the 911 Planning Committee work is a tax that's levied on cell phones. And I think it's either 21, 22, 23 cents, whatever it might be. And what's happening is the use of cell phones is actually peaked, if not starting to diminish. And now we're looking at how do you get other funds. And of course, now you got to look at other devices and how do you get a tax on other devices. So through the help of Jay Somerville from Dublin, we are lobbying the Ohio legislature, the governor, and this is my plug, that we have to have a way to have recurring revenue sources. My thanks to all the first responders. As I tell my staff regularly, we're all in it together. Storms don't know boundaries. They don't know city limits. And so thanks to all of you who are part of making our community much, much better and much safer. And this 911 text is certainly one of the key additions to our citizens. So thank you, Marilyn, and everybody else that's been involved. Kathy?
I want to thank some people before we close out here and give a shout out. First of all, to the committee. This was a committee of highly savvy, very dedicated PIOs from around the county that came together and put this messaging, marketing, media, educational component together. And this is what you're seeing is the kickoff of it. We couldn't have done it without it. We also had a lot of fun working on it. I want to give a special shout out to Alex Brown behind the camera here in front of me from CTV, who made the video on very quick notice and did a beautiful job and put the closed captioning with it. I want to thank Mayor Stage, Mayor Neyland, Commissioner Brown, and Holly for attending today. And all the materials that you have seen are on the website. So for your reference and for the news media, you can pull all these materials that you've seen today off the website. Lastly, I want to thank our representatives of the interpreters here from the Ohio School for the Deaf, from Deaf Phoenix, and from Deaf Services Center. And thanks to Motorola for the refreshments today. You have one thing to remember when you walk out of here: for law enforcement and fire and EMS emergencies, remember, call if you can, text if you can't. Thank you and enjoy the refreshments.